Yes, in April this year, I posted my first YouTube channel describing how Donald J. Trump would bring a lot of disruption in the international system. It has been 7 months, and my predictions are true. Donald J. Trump unilaterally imposed tariffs on almost all countries of the world. The tariff imposed by Donald J. Trump brought a lot of economic repercussions in the world. IMF, World Trade Organization experts complained about his tariffs. Economically, he did what had already proposed. Number two, Donald John Trump bombed some of the perceived nuclear sites in Iran. He did it after the talking failed. I had said earlier that this is not a man to engage in any negotiation. But I must also accept that some of the breakthroughs he has made, one of them is Gaza-Israel war. He did it. Another thing is the war between DR Congo and the M23 rebels. He did something. Another thing in the Pakistan and Afghanistan politics. He did something. I saw how it ended. Let us speak on America's continent. Donald Trump invades Venezuela in the name of tackling trade trafficking in the continent. Venezuela is in a state of armed struggle with a foreign country. I cannot tell that the sovereignty of Venezuela under the presidency of Nicolas Maduro is being threatened, but somehow sovereignty of Venezuela is being threatened. Somehow. It seems that sovereignty of Venezuela is being threatened because during the first Trump presidency, through his Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, tried it, but unsuccessfully to dethrone Nicolas Maduro, following the defeat of Juan Guaido, the Venezuelan opposition leader. But this war that U.S. wages against Venezuela, diplomatically, it adds no value. It adds no value in the front of diplomacy. Because diplomacy is about peace. There's no day that diplomacy and war and conflict and armed attack and military and soldiers will exist on the same table. The opposite of diplomacy is military attack. Though I've always been taught by one of my teachers that diplomacy even operates during war. Yes, but to a very, very minimal extent. Because diplomacy is for professional people, diplomats who do negotiate. The tools used in diplomacy is negotiation, compromise, and cooperation. We negotiate. Through the negotiation, there will be a compromise. At the end of the compromise, what comes is cooperation. But if all the stages fail, not all, if negotiation fails, people meet on the battle and soldiers are taking the stage. It is not on the table or in a room, but in the field. That is what has been happening in Venezuela. And we are seeing is also happening elsewhere within the Far East. The remarks by some of the leaders within the system, some of the powerful countries. China is considered a very powerful country. Japan, after the election of the conservative prime minister, ultra conservative prime minister, is also moving towards the world stage. And Tsunaya Tikiichi is going to bring a mark. It's going to leave a mark, a dent into the world stage. Back with Trump, I say that Trump will cause a lot of disruption. You can remember the trade war with China. Trump removed US from the climate agreement. Trump removed US from World Health Organization, and Trump will not be attending the G20 summit in South Africa. So US is being isolated. At the same time, it wants to expand its sphere of influence in isolation. Very bad syndrome. You isolate yourself at the same time you want to influence beyond your boundary. How will it happen? Unless you're using guns, unless boots are on the ground, it will happen. But it cannot happen by diplomats, because diplomacy is cooperation. You cannot cooperate simultaneously. Yes, you cannot cooperate and isolate simultaneously. It cannot happen. There's a difference between cooperation and isolation. That difference is like heaven and earth. So Trump won't lie to us that one is happening. Another way in which Trump caused a lot of disruption in the world is through his sheer move of making America great again. Trump wants to make America great again, but that effort is not working. It can't work. With the 21st century world, you can't take it all. You only take some. So Trump is trying to take all. That's why he even make a lot of trade agreements with other countries. He's trying to reverse back on his tariffs he made. He realized the disruption the tariffs have caused, and I'm here to report to you that he's trying to reverse some of his tariffs proposal he made in April this year. Subscribe for my videos. Watch and share.